course I'm a helmet head. Yeah, spot on. Agree with that. But here's the thing. We did a meat-eating contest at the Outback Bowl my senior year. Which squad could eat more steak?
And he breaks into the open. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense.
Well, guys, bowl season is here. Always fun to get these non-traditional matchups that you don't see regularly. What do you guys remember about playing in a bowl?
I think you remember all the moments throughout the season and throughout your career, and it's the last time that you ever get these group of individuals together. You say goodbye to so many people, and it's kind of bittersweet, but always fun, Jesse, to dance with your boys one last time. But another thing, too, I love the swag bags personally. I love getting the gifts.
Yeah, I mean, to me, David, really, it was thinking about the tradition and history of these bowl games. I think that's one of the best things about college football. We're in an era today where bowl games don't matter as much as they did back when you and I played, but it was...
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Buffalo!
And I love this offense and the way they started this football game. Listen, last week we did, okay? Forget last week. Nice job coming out, setting the tone in this ball game, putting a long drive together, and getting a touchdown.
Lining up for the PAT. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with a short plunge into the end zone. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner will be brought down. So the TCU Horned Frogs offense will take the field for the first time. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
He's going to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Perez. And he was off to the races, finally tripped up at the 36. That kind of play will send a surge of energy through your offense. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 40. And he'll be brought down.
Man, this guy's going to need some water when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? We've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
And he goes after a nice pickup on that one.
If you blitz me, I'm getting the ball out of my hands. Really good job understanding that by the offensive coordinator, this quarterback, seeing the blitz, getting the ball to a playmaker, letting him do some damage. And more importantly, I don't have to throw it way down the field. Just get the first down.
Motion by the back forces the defense to adjust. Gets it out fast. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the first down. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Buffalo is on top. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. They've swapped ends of the field, and we're ready to go in the second. They'll start the drive here with 1st down to open this period. Give to the back. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He's back to throw on 2nd down. Fires into the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Horned Frogs.
And a really nice nice job understanding I got to get to that gap where there's a little bit of open space in the middle of the field when I run that post route. QB lays it out for him, and he catches it, gets 2 feet in bounds, in the end zone, touchdown.
He'll try to tack on one more. Bangs it through for an extra point. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Buffalo offense headed back to the field. What a good mix of plays, keeping that defense off balance last time, David.
And Reese, they don't know if it's run or if it's pass. They got him right where they want him. This defense doesn't know how to react from getting punched in the mouth on that last drive.
So on this next drive, David, I think you keep running the football because that sets up the play action, it sets up the RPO game, and then you keep this defense guessing.
He lobs one high down the left side. And he's got it inside the 25. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Buffalo.
When you can run like that, the quarterback is going to give you opportunities. And look at him run by the defenders. QB sees it, stick the hand up in the air, catch the football, get to the end zone.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill. And just imagine if they could put another touchdown on the board right here. They could capture so much momentum in this game with back-to-back TDs.
Hammers ahead for a yard out to the 12.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quick completion to the right. Open space at the 25. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
And that's just a great individual effort by the wide receiver. He catches this ball way short of the sticks, but because he's able to make the defender miss, now he's able to get the extra yards and turn that into an explosive play.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. The give to the back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7.
And those physical runs take a toll. It might not be a big gain now, but down the road, third, fourth quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. The Horned Frogs decide to punt it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. Cover guys do their job, and they get him stopped at the 22-yard line. Buffalo has it back. Let's see what the Bulls offense can do. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there, and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. The Bulls will bring the punt team onto the field. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Let's see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Running to the left. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the ball fast, low. And the offensive linemen, they have no chance to stop those guys as quick and as fast as they are.
The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. And the Horned Frogs will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Coverage was all over him before he had a chance to breathe, and they knock him down deep in his own territory. The Buffalo offense headed back to the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field really, really quickly. They need to put something together here.
Yeah, David, bad execution on that last drive, so they got to take a collective breath and start playing like a unit on this drive.
Give to the running back. Boom. And a decent gain there before the defense makes a stop. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. It's complete. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Wants to throw on 1st down. It's complete on the right side. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down.
You know who's got to love this offense picking up so many 1st downs? It's their own defense. David, I know you love playing on teams with great offenses.
They'll throw it on 1st down. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And he makes the catch inside the 20.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
Quarterback extends the play. They've got the play bottled up. Fumble, it's out. Oh, and he gets the ball back. Lucky to do so. Guess it could have been worse. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, a stirring start to things today in San Antonio as we say hello from our broadcast studios.
Kickoff and kickoff return teams on the field, and we're just about ready to go in the second half. And he's going to try to return this one. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. And they're trailing on the scoreboard right now, but they are very much in the mix to finish this season with a bowl win.
Yeah, and I think you look at bowl games, sometimes there's a little bit of rust in the first half. That's what you talk about at halftime. Now, we get the ball, we're down. Let's go make a statement to start this second half. We're here, we're ready, we're going to do some damage.
And here's the thing. They're in this bowl game because they're explosive on offense. It takes only one play. There's still lots of football left to be played. If they get this confidence going, they get into a rhythm, watch out.
Ball spotted at the 21. It's first down. He'll do it himself. At the 35, he's loose. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Ooh, I like that option play. I'd keep running that too because it's obvious the defense right now is really keying in on this running back. That was a big point of emphasis for them all week long in practice, and it's opening up holes now for the quarterback to run.
And what a nice job seeing it, reacting, and throwing. When you run these RPOs, you want to read the defense really quickly. Is he playing run? Okay, boom, I'm going to throw the slant right behind him. Nice job by the QB.
They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Hard-earned yards, man. You got to get these first downs any way you can. And sometimes it's not going to be easy, and you can't just do it conventionally handing it off. This offense is going to have to be creative. Football is a game of inches, and you just got to find the angles to give yourself an advantage. That creative play call right there really helped.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. Caught in the backfield, it's Diaz. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. The Horned Frogs will call on their punt team.
A lot of times when that ball's coming out, you can tell the offensive linemen want to get those defensive linemen's hands down. They want to hit them, engage on them. Great job by the defensive end, getting his hands up in the air and getting the deflection.
Buffalo has it back. Let's see what the Bulls offense can do. Line gets set, first down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2. Got a little work done on first down, now back to the line. To the ground with the back. And the Bulls pick up the first down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the first down.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. They're going to ride this running back. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
And the catch along the sideline will come up a little short of the first down.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen.
And he's running in the open. Past the 10. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Bulls.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy shows you right there a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions, really need to cash in on this drive. Quarterback on the keeper. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. And the Horned Frogs come to the line with a new set of downs. The give out of the gun. Made a defender miss. That run epitomizes a veteran, savvy senior who knows how to find space. The Horned Frogs are moving quickly down the field. They go to the ground. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to pass on second down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Defense makes the tackle, and that will probably be the final play of the third quarter. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Buffalo is on top. This has been utter domination through 3 quarters, and the stats will back that up. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. Third and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? Pre-snap motion in the backfield. They'll try to get it through the air. Quick completion on the out route. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first.
Well, trailing like they are right now in the fourth quarter, their execution offensively is just going to have to be at a premium. You can't afford a lot of incompletions at this point. Everybody is going to need to be on the same page moving forward.
And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into a rhythm now. They're letting them drive off the ball on first down on these running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
Yeah, and this offense, listen, we're in warp speed, right? We got to score a bunch of points here. We're down. We're trailing. We got to go fast, but we also got to get first downs. And that's a nice job sneaking in the run, getting the first down, and now we crank the tempo back up.
The RPO, it's complete. And he's just run out of bounds, maybe living to fight another day there. It'll be a loss on the play. His drive was clicking along, but now it's 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Getting some heat. He makes the connection. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Third down has been right in the wheelhouse on this drive. They've already converted a couple of times, but they need the full 10 yards now. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got him, and they convert. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business, first and goal. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost, trying to defend their own end zone. Looking to the end zone. And that one's way too far for everybody.
And that is a huge missed opportunity for the quarterback. You've got your guy wide open in the end zone. You're not under pressure. You just got to hit him. That ball got away, and that's one he'd like to have back.
Got it. And he will score. Touchdown, TCU. Late in the game, and the confidence is building if only there's enough time to finish.
Time is ticking, but man, you gave yourself a chance now. Now the defense, go out, do your job. We got the moment. If you give me the ball back, I'm going to win. Let's go, defense.
And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. They held the ball for 15 plays on that touchdown drive. And they close the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. Here's the return from inside his 10. And the returner goes down. The Buffalo offense headed back to the field. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
And every coach in America has a plan for this situation. The first 4 minutes of the game, the last 4 minutes of the game. How I'm going to construct my offense. Most of the time, I got to be physical. Run the football like right here. Run that clock. Get a few first downs, and I can end this football game on offense.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
They'll run it. They want to take their time here. He picks up maybe a couple before he stopped right at the 30-yard line.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
The give to the back. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. The Bulls are on the move. He leaves it with his back. He makes the stop at the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 15, and they've got it in plus territory. And the Bulls with the 1st and 10. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. I'd expect we're going to get another dose of the running game at this point, even though it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Now, if they can get a stop on this 3rd and 10, expect an immediate timeout. From the gun, wants to pass. He hurls one deep down the left side. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Buffalo!
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he's going to bring it out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. He's looking to throw it. He looks that one in nicely.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Listen, I love when my quarterback gets outside the pocket. I got an opportunity to make a huge play. But when it's not there, now I want him to make the simple play. Throw it away. Don't take the sack. Don't take the loss of yards plays.
Grabbed on the outside. It's Diaz.
And listen, everything's four-down territory at this point when you're trailing by this much late in the game. So it's okay you didn't get the first down there, but now the pressure's on to convert this. Otherwise, it's ball game.
Picked off. A return there would have just been icing on the cake. They'll just have to settle for the cake at the 23. Looking for a productive play on first down. Hand off from the shotgun. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Already well within field goal range. Wonder how aggressive they'll be on 3rd and long from the 22. Makes the grab down the middle. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. Well, how about this one? A fun one. These guys came in as underdogs, and they walk out as the winner.
They didn't care they were unranked. That's not what they were worried about. Oh, this team's ranked. They were looking at it different. They were looking to come in and get the W and execute. Great job believing they could come, Jesse, and knock them off.
Yeah, you're right, David. This team came in with something to prove, and they knew they had a national audience that was going to be paying attention to this game. What a great job going out under the lights, big-time stage against a ranked opponent, and really putting their A game out there on the field.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.